What if the most advanced fighter aircraft of World War II didn't come from the Allies, but from Germany? What if jet fighters, heavy cannons, and radical designs appeared years ahead of their time, yet still failed to win the war? During World War II, Nazi Germany fielded some of the most iconic and controversial fighter aircraft ever built. Some dominated the skies, some terrified Allied pilots, and some arrived too late to change history. Today, on State Military History, we'll explore every major German fighter aircraft used in World War II, focusing on 5 legendary machines that defined the Luftwaffe: the Messerschmitt Bf-109, the Focke-Wulf FW-190, the Messerschmitt Bf-110, the revolutionary Me-262 jet, and Germany's desperate final gamble, the Heinkel HE-162. This is the complete story of German fighter aviation in World War II. Messerschmitt Bf-109, the backbone of the Luftwaffe. The Messerschmitt Bf-109 was not just a fighter, it was the spine of Germany's air war. First introduced in the mid-1930s, the Bf-109 was already combat-tested before World War II began. When Germany invaded Poland in 1939, this aircraft spearheaded the Luftwaffe's air superiority campaign. Fast, lightweight, and deadly, the Bf-109 combined a powerful engine with a streamlined design. Its nose-mounted guns allowed for accurate fire, and its climb rate made it lethal in dogfights. Throughout the war, the Bf-109 evolved constantly: new engines, heavier armament, and improved aerodynamics. It fought in every major theater: Western Europe, North Africa, the Eastern Front, and the defense of Germany itself. Despite its strengths, the aircraft had weaknesses. Its narrow landing gear caused frequent accidents, and late-war versions became increasingly difficult for inexperienced pilots to handle. Still, the numbers speak for themselves. The Bf-109 became the most produced fighter aircraft in history, and it was flown by the highest-scoring aces of all time. Focke-Wulf FW-190, the Butcher Bird. When the Focke-Wulf FW-190 appeared in 1941, Allied pilots were stunned. Compared to the Bf-109, the FW-190 was faster at low altitudes, heavily armored, and packed with devastating firepower. British pilots nicknamed it the Butcher Bird. Its wide landing gear made it easier to fly, while its radial engine gave it incredible durability. The aircraft excelled not only as a fighter, but also as a ground attack aircraft. Armed with multiple machine guns and cannons, the FW-190 could shred enemy fighters and strike ground targets with terrifying efficiency. Later variants were adapted to intercept Allied bombers carrying heavy cannons designed to bring down flying fortresses. Many historians consider the FW-190 to be Germany's best all-around fighter of the war and one of the most respected fighters by both sides. Messerschmitt Bf-110, the heavy fighter experiment. The Messerschmitt Bf-110 was born from a bold idea: a long-range heavy fighter that could escort bombers and dominate the skies. Armed with multiple forward-firing cannons and machine guns, the Bf-110 was devastating against bombers and ground targets. In the early stages of the war, it performed well against weaker opposition. But during the Battle of Britain, its flaws became clear. The Bf-110 was too large and too slow to compete with agile single-engine fighters. It suffered heavy losses when forced into dogfights. Instead of abandoning the design, Germany adapted it. The Bf-110 found new life as a night fighter, equipped with radar systems and heavy armament. In this role, it became one of the most effective nighttime interceptors of the war, hunting Allied bombers under the cover of darkness. Though flawed, the Bf-110 proved that adaptability could extend an aircraft's usefulness far beyond its original purpose. Messerschmitt Me-262, the jet that changed history. The Messerschmitt Me-262 was unlike anything the world had ever seen. It was the first operational jet fighter in history, capable of speeds no propeller-driven aircraft could match. Allied pilots often reported that it simply appeared, attacked, and vanished before they could react. Armed with powerful 30mm cannons, the Me-262 was devastating against bomber formations. But despite its technological superiority, the aircraft suffered from serious limitations. Jet engines were unreliable, fuel shortages were constant, and trained pilots were scarce. Strategic decisions also hindered its effectiveness, delaying its deployment and misusing it in roles it wasn't designed for. Even so, the Me-262 marked the beginning of the jet age, influencing fighter design for decades to come. It was proof that Germany still possessed extraordinary engineering talent, even as the war slipped out of reach. Heinkel HE-162, the desperate last fighter. As Allied forces closed in, Germany turned to desperation. The Heinkel HE-162, nicknamed the People's Fighter, was designed to be cheap, fast, and easy to build, often using wood due to material shortages. Powered by a single jet engine mounted above the fuselage, the HE-162 looked unconventional and flew dangerously close to the limits of pilot survival. In theory, it was meant to be flown by quickly trained pilots. In reality, the aircraft was difficult to handle and plagued by reliability issues. Only a small number entered service before the war ended, and it had no meaningful impact on the conflict. The HE-162 symbolizes the final chapter of the Luftwaffe, innovation driven by desperation rather than strategy. From the legendary Bf-109 to the futuristic Me-262, German fighter aircraft of World War II represent a powerful mix of brilliance, ambition, and fatal mistakes. They shaped air combat, pushed technology forward, and left a legacy still studied today. But even the most advanced aircraft could not overcome shortages, strategic errors, and overwhelming opposition. If you enjoyed this deep dive into World War II aviation, make sure to subscribe to State Military History for more stories of aircraft, battles, and the machines that shaped the modern world. History doesn't just belong on the ground. Sometimes it flies.